Welcome to the Absolute Mom Sense Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to Absolute Mom Sense, a podcast where moms come together and hang out, chat, talk about life, kids, raising kids. Today we're going to be talking about Halloween, trick-or-treating, the scary things that are happening in the world with the trick-or-treating, scaring kids. All kinds of fun things that we do as moms, especially for Halloween. So let's get into this. If you're new here, hi, my name is Olivia. If you're new here, hi, my name is Olivia, and I'm so glad that you found us. This is Tia.
Hi.
And she's here to hang out. What do I say?
Why am I here?
It up. Okay, hold on. Hi. Sorry. Don't laugh, Tia.
Okay.
You gotta stop. Okay. If you're new here, hi, my name is Olivia.
And Tia.
Dang it. Okay, here we go. If you're new here, hi, my name is Olivia, and I'm so glad that you found us. We have Tia here.
Hello.
Who's always super fun, always super happy, always laughing. That's really what we do. So how you doing?
I am doing amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for Halloween. Just
I
about.
am so
kind of.
I am so ready for Halloween. Today, that's what we're going to be focusing on because who doesn't love Halloween as a parent? I know my mom hated it.
Like, do we love Halloween?
My mom hated Halloween as a kid.
Really?
She loved it. No, she hated it so much. And when so I've got some stories to tell.
Alrighty.
I forgot about this stuff. So my mom did hate Halloween, but she hated the gory, goth, evil side of Halloween.
Yeah.
It just wasn't her thing. I love it.
So do I.
I think it's so fun.
I love the spirit of it.
I think it's spooky. I think it's the one time where you can just be like, oh, and just feel a little eerie. I like watching scary movies, but only to like some extent.
Right.
I'm not like super scary movie, and I hate haunted houses.
Oh, I love haunted houses.
You love them.
I love them.
And she takes her kids.
Yeah, we took all
to
of
the
my
haunted
kids,
houses.
all of them down to Coley this year.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm raising a good little crew here.
She takes them to haunted houses, and then she texts me, hey, you coming? And I'm like, I will cry, let alone my kids. I hate haunted houses, but I do love the season. I love Halloween. But when I was a kid, my mom would make costumes. She was really, really good.
That's why she hated it.
Maybe that's it.
Yep.
But she would make all of our costumes. And I remember one year, and so this is my moment.
Okay.
I remember one year I was in kindergarten, I think, and my mom picked my costume for me. And she picked Captain Hook. And she dressed me up as Captain Hook.
Do we have a picture of this?
I do.
Okay, great.
So it was one of the most humiliating times in my life. Because I go to school and I'm in kindergarten, right? And this is back in the day when perms were still a thing. Yeah. And so I had really long, permed, poofy hair that she sprayed black with the hairspray. Okay, so then this is why I was Captain Hook. She was like, you were so cute. You had the perfect hair. I didn't even have to use a wig. So she gets my hair all big and poofy, sprays it black, draws on thick eyebrows and the mustache. And I go in, and she had made my costume. And so I'm wearing this Captain Hook thing with like lace frills and everything like. And I'm not gonna lie, it was very, very good. Yeah. But I'm in kindergarten. Yeah. And I'm going to school in Captain Hook.
And all the other girls are like princesses and mermaids.
Princesses and ballerinas and mermaids, and they're just loving it. They've got makeup on, and here I am with a mustache and thick eyebrows.
I love it.
And I was like, now I did it. I was a good sport. And I walked around, and at my school we had like a costume Halloween parade. Yeah. So we had to walk around the whole school in costume, and all the parents and the teachers, oh, look how cute she is, and look, and I'm sitting there like holding my little hook. Aw. Mm-hmm. Great. This is so much fun. Yeah. So that was my moment that I remember. I hated it.
We always had a good time picking out our costumes every year. So do you let your kids pick out their costumes from that experience now? Or do you like make them do what you want them to do?
No, I don't think I could, because I did do that. Yeah. Now I will say she came back from that experience, because I've told her for years how sad it was that she made me do that. And she'll stand by it every single time. She's like, no, I don't regret it. You were so cute. It was perfect. But the next year she let me pick my costume, and of course I pick a princess. Yeah. And she went and made my princess gown. Aww. And it was just so beautiful, and I felt so beautiful, and she put makeup on me and little blush cheeks and everything, and so I was happy then. Yeah. And then it was all okay.
Good.
Because I got to be what I wanted to be the next year.
So does that, for me then, it's hard to let my kids do the cutesy stuff on Halloween. I'm like, this is Halloween, you guys. What are you doing? Like, we're not like the superheroes, which I'm not. Okay, my kids have all been the superheroes. We've had all the princesses. We've had like the mermaid. We've done all that. Mm-hmm. But I'm like disappointed inside when my kids choose that. I'm like, that's not what Halloween is to me. It's like the blood, like we do the vampires, like the blood dripping down, clear down your neck. Like we go all out. Yeah. If they'll cooperate.
Yeah. I feel like every kid of mine is different because I think I only have one that's super into that type of thing.
Send them my way.
And so every single year since she was a little girl, she would always pick when she was 3, she wanted to be a vampire. Yeah. And she took it so seriously. Good. And I like decked her out with the blood and the teeth and everything, and she just rocked it. So many people were like, is that a boy? And she was just like totally straight faced and just would walk around with her head held high, and she just owned it. But see, I'm like, okay, so yeah, she looked like a boy. Like I had my experience where I looked like a boy, but I didn't pick that. Yeah. At least she picked it. That's the difference.
I like her.
Right?
I like her a lot.
And then the next year she's like, I want to be a werewolf.
Good.
What is this?
We have my little Eli this year that wants to be a butcher this year. We have like a full white gown that's splashed with blood and like the hatchet thingy, and that's what he's choosing. They can't wear it to school, but we'll do it after. We'll see.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. But this year she wants to be a clown.
Yeah.
And not the cute clown. And I'm like,
come borrow some of mine. What
happened?
We did my whole family, like the ones that would do it with me, but we did a bunch of the kids as clowns.
Oh, now you tell me.
Did you already buy your costume?
I've been looking all over for the
we have
costume.
A whole bunch.
Yeah, I found it, but I'm like, ugh. Yeah. Also, here's the thing: costume prices. Yeah. Ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Ridiculous. Yeah. Do you know how much that clown costume cost?
How much?
$45.
No, it didn't.
Oh. $45 for a clown costume.
Return it.
Are you kidding me?
So do you buy, here's another thing. Do you buy all new costumes every year?
I shouldn't.
But you do?
I do.
Oh. So growing up for us then, that was a lot of the fun was we had like a costume bin. Yeah. And you'd pull out all the costumes and you'd put something together. And then if you needed a few pieces, you go out and buy those few pieces. It wasn't very often that we went out and bought like a whole outfit ever. And so I get my kids and I'm like all fun, like we're out buying costumes, but with 10 kids, I'm like, This year, I think I bought just one costume.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, no, you guys, like, this is what we're doing.
Last year.
So when you see my pictures this year and they're not all like matching clown costumes like last year, like that's what Halloween is to me.
Yeah. I've never done a family themed Halloween costumes yet.
Yeah, we did them last year and I'm like, it was kind of mean for the kids, honestly. Really? Yeah.
Because they had to be it?
Everybody had to be in it. Not everybody, but I think I had like 6 or 7 kids that did it with me.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why I've never done it, because I'm like, well, if they don't want to be that, then it's like, you took their moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But my kids are like, okay, so here's the thing. Because we have a Halloween party that we go to and we wear costumes. And then you can wear a costume to school. And then you wear the costume, right?
Yeah.
And so one of my kids comes to me and she's like, okay, for this one that I want to be this. And this one I want to be this. And this one. And I was like,
pick one. Pick one.
Yep. I was like, you can pick one costume and I'll go get it. Mm-hmm. If you want to be anything else, you check the bin.
Yeah.
I'm not
Good for you.
going and buying 3 new costumes.
Yeah.
But see, I imagine at some point then I'll get to the point to where I just have a bin and then go for it.
Yeah.
You know, but we haven't had that many years to build it up.
Well,
you know?
My other trick is after Halloween.
And they don't fit.
I know. So you like watch after Halloween, go in and get the clearance costumes. They're like marked down to like $5 or something, and you have to just throw them in the bin.
Not 45.
No, I would never.
I didn't. I put it back.
Oh, good. Okay.
I returned it because I was like, I can't do that.
That is I
can't do that.
Well, I thought about too, like one night worth of trick or treating, but then I'm like, but it's not just one night.
I know.
You really do have the school dress up. You have the trick or treating night. You have parties, trunk or treats.
And I guess it's not so much about the money; it's the fact that they can.
Yeah.
You know, and then it just bugs me. And so then I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend that much on a costume.
That's never what it was growing up either.
I know. And obviously for me, my mom never bought a costume.
Yeah.
She made them all. She made them all.
I'm not that good.
I'm not. Last year, though, I did make a ballerina one and a ghost one.
I remember.
So
that was cute.
Easy ones to do. Yeah. She's all up here sewing everything elaborate. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
Nope. I wouldn't do it even if I knew how to.
I know. I don't know why she did, but she loved it.
Yeah, some people are crafty like that. My mama would.
And she was. And she loved seeing our faces when we would put them on and she would just, get them all decked out and everything.
Yeah. That's so fun. Oh, I'm excited now.
Fun. So, trick or treating. Are you going to go?
Yep. Despite all the news articles and despite all the peer pressure from all my friends who are not, they're going to be the safe, good mamas. I'm like, You're not ruining it for me.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so first of all, if you haven't heard, then there's all kinds of news articles out there saying that the candy is being laced with fentanyl. Fentanyl. So everything, supposedly, all this Halloween candy is being laced with fentanyl.
I don't think that they're laced. I think that from what I heard, so this is why I feel okay. I don't think that they're laced. I think that they're literally
just packaged.
Yeah, just packaged. And I'm like, my kids are not that dumb. If they open up Skittles and they didn't look like Skittles, my kids know what Skittles look like, then they'd be like,
this is not the right candy.
What is this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and there's tons of pictures, and I'll show them to you guys, but of what the the drug it looks like. Because they're trying to make it look like candy. Now, I've been reading a lot about that it's supposed to try to target the young kids.
Heads up, parents, right now the Drug Enforcement Agency is warning about targeting children with candy-colored fentanyl. On the street, it's called rainbow fentanyl. One side is stamped with an M and 30 on the other side. Officers also seized powdered blocks that look like sidewalk chalk. They say dealers are using these designs to target children.
So they are making it look like candy, so supposedly to target the children and to get it to them, like sidewalk chalk, all of that stuff. And so, but like you were saying, it's not in the candy specifically. It's just made to look like candy. Yeah. But heads up, if you see anything with an M and a 30 on it, it's fentanyl. Don't eat it. It's bad for you. Yeah. You will die, But here's the thing. I actually saw something where they said it's not necessarily to target the children as much as it is used to smuggle.
Oh.
Because it's easier to get it through all the systems if it looks like candy.
Wow.
Right? So it's not necessarily to target your kids, and it's likely that there won't be much of an issue at Halloween time with this specific problem that everybody's like, freaking out about. Mm-hmm. It's more that they're like, no, we're just trying to get it through the system.
Yep.
Right? Because if it doesn't look like a drug, there you go.
Yeah.
If it looks like candy, then everybody's like, oh, okay, pass. If it looks like sidewalk chalk, pass. And
they're good.
And then now you can start dealing it to the people who are doing drugs.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not likely that you'll be seeing any of this stuff in your trick-or-treating.
I don't think so.
I'm just saying. From what I'm reading and from what I understand, this is kind of what I think. Obviously, you're still going to be smart about it. This has been a thing for years, right? Everybody's been like, well, you gotta watch the candy. You gotta make sure that everything. I actually knew of somebody who went trick-or-treating in her neighborhood, and they stopped at a house, and the lady was giving caramel apples, and so she passed them out to all the kids, and the mom. So this kid. Her mom taught her, do not eat anything until you come home and show me first.
Good.
So while you're trick-or-treating, you can get all the candy, you can collect all the things and the treats, but you can't eat anything until you get home and I look at it first.
Right.
So they bring home the caramel apples, her and all of her buddies, her friends. And they cut into them and there's razors all through the apple.
What the heck?
Right? And so the mom was like, yeah, garbage, right? Because how easy was it for her to... They basically chocked the apple full of razors and then dunked it in caramel so you can't see
people?
It. Right?
That's a lot of effort, first of all.
It is a lot of effort for what?
I don't get it. Yeah.
Right? So if they would have just taken bites out of the apple, then they would have gotten their mouth cut up, right? Ow. Damage, injuries, all kinds of things like that. So there's a heads up. Yeah. Don't take caramel apples from witches.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And don't bite into a caramel apple without cut. Who does that anyways? Don't you cut your caramel apples?
I don't eat caramel apples.
I always have a favorite food, and that's probably it right now.
I don't know, because here's the thing. Everybody uses green apples.
I love it because it's the tart, the sour.
No. I hate green apples. If they would use a good apple, like the Gala or the Fuji apples.
Yeah. Those are great too.
Then I would eat the caramel.
Do you ever get like the caramel dip and you go get those kind of apples? Yeah. And your kids go to town?
On my own kind of apple.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, so you eat the caramel apple, you eat all the good stuff off of it, and then you're left with a sour green apple.
I love green apples.
So I don't get the caramel apple craze.
You're like getting lower and lower on my list with the bread and now the apples.
With all the things. Anyway, so if you have kids and they're going trick-or-treating this year, first of all, I would say don't freak out.
Yeah.
Don't panic. I don't think that it's anything abnormal than we've already been dealing with, right? Yeah. Second, I would say always check the candy. Right. Obviously, check the candy, the treats, everything like that, before they start eating it, and then I think you're good.
Don't your kids have to come home and like put out their spread for you to pay? They have to pay their taxes anyways.
So yeah, so she was telling me about this candy tax.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely,
this is a thing.
Yeah,
I had no idea. All this time I've been like, hey, can I have some candy?
No. My kids, so we get home and obviously you guys do like the organizing your candy, right? You get home and throw it out on the living room floor. Everybody organizes it and then they do their trades and stuff, right? Yeah, it's like a serious business.
Kind of, yeah.
But before you can do your trades, you got to pay your taxes to where they're due.
Now that I'm hearing about it, then I'm like, I've been doing this wrong all this time.
Nah, yeah. They owe you.
But here's the thing. I will say, because every time that we get down to do that and they dump out all their candy, they count what they have and they see what all they have. My kids know what I like, right? And so they pick all the things that they know that I like and come bring it to me. They know what Dad likes, and so they pick all the things and be like, hey, here, Dad, I got you all these things. I got you them, right? And so then I get it, but I just have never been like, hey,
pay your dues.
Let's go.
You got to teach them young. This is real life here.
It is, but then how sweet is that?
Well, you have a couple sweet kids, but I really like the pay your dues.
Where you have to. Okay, so what are your dues? What do you take from your kids?
All the good stuff. It depends on what mood I'm in. So obviously the king size, right?
What, you take your kids king size?
Yeah. And then I love the big lemon heads. Or what are those things called? The big, huge yellow balls that are sour. They're lemon heads, right? I think. But the big ones. Right. And then the cinnamon ones, the hot ones. Oh,
you are so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't be friends.
I don't think so either.
I'm like the chocolate.
I like it.
That's
it depends
my
on
stuff.
my mood. Yeah.
Yeah. I like candy, but not like, it's not that good. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's sad because now I feel old. So I'm like, it really isn't. Like, it makes you feel like garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Twix and Milky Way.
Reese's.
Oh,
I
peanut
love
butter.
Reese's.
I don't do peanut butter.
I love it. I get the ones that are like the extra peanut butter in them.
Ew.
Yeah.
No. The Reese's, my kids know that those are dad's because he likes the peanut butter.
See?
Yeah. There you go. You should have just
I always relate to everyone's husbands. This has been a problem. Really?
That's so funny. And then I'll eat basically anything chocolate without the peanut butter, but it has to have something with it.
Like
right?
Snickers.
So I do
nuts.
like Snickers.
Those are great.
I don't hate those.
Yeah.
That's as far as peanut butter.
Yeah.
I'll do. Huh. So those are the things that I would take from my kids if I did.
Try it.
I will. Yeah. But I do the prank. Do you guys do the prank where the day after Halloween, then you say I ate all your candy?
I haven't done that yet.
I'm so mean. I do it every year.
Is it great? Do they fall for it?
They do.
Oh,
the little ones.
Yeah.
But obviously now my older kids are like, yeah, okay, Mom.
Give me the candy.
Right.
Yeah.
You took it. But I have a video because I filmed it. I wanted to film it.
Obviously.
Right?
Gotta document
if they're going to cry, I gotta film it. So I filmed them while I told them that I took their candy. Mm-hmm. And at the time it was my two oldest. And Ava was, I think she was probably about almost 4.
Yeah.
So she was in school. She was about 4. Jaslyn would have been 2. And so I tell the kids, hey, I took your Halloween candy. And Ava's like, okay.
Didn't bother her at all?
Wow. She was like, okay, yeah, you can have it. That's fine. Wow. And she no issues whatsoever.
Wow, darn.
Yeah, I know. Jaslyn, full on, just upset. She was just in tears. So sad. And then she stopped and she was like, did you take my kitty cats? Her Kit Kat. Because that was her favorite candy. And I was like, yep, I ate your Kit Kats too. And she was, oh, I'm so sad. And then as soon as I told her, no, I'm just kidding, she just flipped instantly from bawling her eyes out to laughing. And she was like, oh, good. I still have my kitty cat. It was so cute. And I'm like, I'm too mean.
I love it though.
But it's so cute.
Yeah.
And then I was just so proud of Ava, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, aw, you can have more candy now.
Yeah. Do you let your kids have all of their candy?
That was my next question.
Yeah.
I monitor it.
Do you really?
I do. Huh. Yeah. Yep. On the night of, then I'm way more lax, but I am constantly being like, you realize if you go overboard, you will feel really, really sick.
Yeah.
If you don't want to feel sick, I'd go easy on it.
I don't think kids feel sick on candy though. I remember growing up and we had at it and I never felt sick. I think it's just us old people. So then we're like trying to protect them, but I feel like they're good.
I don't know, but I tell them because I've had kids where they're just like, oh, I don't feel very good. And I'm like,
babies.
Why do you babies? Why do you think that you don't feel good?
As long as we're they have full bellies. I do require a full belly. Like eat some oatmeal or something or something good.
Something and then to make yourself feel good.
Yeah, on Halloween and maybe a couple days after, it's kind of like a free for all. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I'm like, hey, after dinner, we're gonna wait till at least after dinner, then you can have a few pieces.
Yeah, that's more what I am, but I just don't think that I've ever been completely
free for all.
Go for it. More so with my older ones now, but honestly, after the first week, then it all just gets put into one bowl at that point.
We end up there too.
Because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that I get sick of having little bags that's labeled with all their kids' names, And then at that point, then everybody's kind of done picking through their own thing.
I hate the end of it.
Yeah. You can never get rid of it.
Yeah.
I end up just throwing it away.
So do I.
Every time. And I'm like, okay, we're done. We're done.
Do you have a few kids that have their pillowcase of candy? Because we like our pillowcases for trick-or-treating. And they keep it for half a year. They're like super protective and like keep theirs guarded under their pillow or somewhere like stashed.
No, but here's the thing. I just don't think that I give them the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
It comes like I for real, every time around the end or close to Christmas, I think, because I want the Christmas candy.
Right.
And we still have Halloween candy. So then I'm like, we got to get rid of this stuff.
Yeah.
So then I just go on these rampages where it's just like garbage, 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 bad for you. Ew, ew, ew. You know, I'm so sick of having junk food in this house.
But here comes all the Christmas treats.
Yep. It happens every year.
Aww.
And then after Christmas, then I do the same thing where I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done feeling like crap.
Yeah.
And I feel like the kids do too. And maybe they don't. But I'm like, you guys can't live like this.
If they're brushing their teeth and they're eating their oatmeal in the morning, then we are solid. We are good.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Well, I know. And okay, so I'll ease up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
This year I'll ease up a little bit. And then my kids will be like, oh, good thing Mom talked to Tia.
And then they're going to be all sick and you're going to be like, Tia,
I told you.
You probably got to build up their immunity to it. I don't know.
Yeah. So do you have any kids that, because you have old kids now. Yeah. Do you have any kids that you say are too old to trick or treat?
Absolutely not.
No?
No, I don't play that game.
Do all your kids still trick or treat?
I have oldest? A few. So Lane is 17 this year, and I think he'll go out with his friends. Mm-hmm. It's not as like serious. It's more just like go hang out and grab a few treats. I have some dedicated children that come from me. That they're on a mission, and we have our pill case, and we're gonna get as much candy as possible in a polite way. I hate the kids that go around and dump the whole.
Yeah.
Gosh. Like and I do have to talk to my kids because I have a few that would probably do that
if you let them go for it.
Yeah, so we do go over that. But as far as trick or treating, I have like Audrey. She's 14, gonna be 15. She's like, I don't want to trick or treat. I'm like, you absolutely are trick or treating. This is childhood, and we're living it up. So I make them go trick or treating.
Yeah, I think it's the funniest when you have your little kids who go up and go to the door, and they're like, trick or treat, and then they give them the candy, and then they just stand there and wait for more.
Yeah,
and they're just like ready for it, and then the people are like, okay,
bye,
you got it. Bye.
You ever have kids that just walk right in the people's houses?
I have had that. And I'm like, oh, no. This year, though, I'm going to be going with them, walking around and trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
And so, like, honestly, I see myself waddling.
Yeah.
And then stopping and being like, okay, yeah, y'all go up to the house, come back down. So if they start walking into the house.
Oh, you go up to the houses with them?
Yeah.
No, I'm like yelling from the street, like, get back down here.
That's what I'm
way
saying.
Too much work.
Like if I have to do that, they start walking into the house. At that point, I'm going to be like, oh, sorry. I guess you have a kid now.
You can keep that one.
I don't know what to tell you. It's so fun though.
Yeah, I love it. Do you have different age groups of trick-or-treating? That's a problem that we're running into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So when we do it, we start off first with all of us and we do it the little kid way.
Yeah.
And so my older kids love this part for the little ones. And so they love taking the little ones up and being like, hey, come on, let's go get some candy.
Aww.
They think it's fun. And so maybe that's why I'm always like, you guys take them up to the house and I'll stand back from here, you know.
Right in the wagon.
And then they will take them and do the whole fun thing.
Yeah.
And then we come home because, where we live, it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
And so we go early, we get the babies done, and then the older ones will go back out.
Yeah.
With either me or dad, but it's not me this year. I'm not doing it. So, yeah, we do definitely separate it because I feel like then the older kids do get to enjoy the little ones. They don't feel like that they're holding them back.
Yeah.
Because they're not to that point yet. Yeah. They're not to the point to where it's like, okay, now it's serious. Now we're going to go out and get the candy.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. And so I think it helps the kids enjoy it more. Yeah. I feel like.
For sure does.
I think it's funny though, because I feel like that some moms are just like, oh, I cannot believe that you make your older kids do all that work for the little kids, right? Let them be kids. Let them go off and have their own experiences. Yeah. Don't tie them down with their siblings. You're the mom. You do it. You take them. And I'm like, you try to do it.
You're born into this family. You better contribute.
I know. Honestly, though, if I were like, okay, then I will take Hudson and Roman, Ava and Jasmine would be like, oh,
I want to watch.
No. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if I was like, oh, no, I'll get him, I can guarantee you they would be like, wait, but can I take him up? Can I take this one to them? You know, they love it. Yeah. And so I'm like, let them have that moment.
Yeah.
And then I will take the little ones away because they don't care.
Yeah.
They get one piece in their bucket and they go, oh, I got candy.
Yeah.
And then they come home and they're just fine.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. And then the older ones will go back out.
Love it.
So it's great fun. I love it. Honestly, though, if I were worried about, and so back to this drug candy thing, if you are worried, one of the things that I had a friend she wasn't allowed candy. Like she just couldn't eat candy. And so she would go trick-or-treating with us because it's the experience and it was fun. Yeah. And then when she was done, she would take her candy back to her mom and her mom would trade her.
I've heard of that.
The treats that she wanted her to have.
Yeah, I don't
get it. I'm just saying, you could always try that method where it's like, okay, well, we don't want strangers' candy, but I will go buy candy. And then
so she traded her for candy. Okay. I've heard of people swapping for like toys and stuff. Like, well, what kid's going to fall for that?
I know. Well, I don't know what she would trade for. Probably some of it was treats and some of it was, toys money. And things like that. Probably
I
money.
Would prefer the candy any day as a kid.
As a kid, I would for sure prefer the candy. But I'm saying, like, if you're worried about getting contaminated candy, drugged candy, you could always just let your kids go and have the experience and then just take the candy and then swap it out for candy you bought from the store that you know is safe. You know what I mean?
But so because I heard about, I'm gonna run it for y'all. I heard about it in the stores.
Exactly. Well, I don't know, I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to, you could go that route. So do you guys scare your kids during the Halloween season?
Yeah.
Is this something that normal moms do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now
you have to be careful nowadays.
Here's the thing. So I think scaring kids is funny to an extent.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Tia's extent is much farther than I consider mine would be. Oh, yeah. She will put on masks, like scary masks, and go scare her kids on purpose.
I love it.
And she thinks it's funny. Now, here's the thing, though. Because you do that, your kids are a little bit more immune to it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You do it to them, and then they're just like, oh, ha, 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 funny. Right?
I don't have babies anymore. I'm going to have to come to your house. But yeah, my kids, we had our babies were like terrified and like screaming and running around and like it was great fun. Nowadays, like it's my kids that
are doing
like
it to
Coley's
each other.
like hides behind the door when I walk in every single day from school and it's like boo. Like so I raised them well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're well-rounded kids.
I will say though, I have taken my kids to the Halloween stores. You guys have seen those videos, right?
I love it.
Where they have all these setups and everything. You go step on the things and then they jump out at you, right? So I take my kids to those things. Depending on the time, depending on the age of the kid, and depending on the kid is how terrorized they leave the place acting, right?
Yeah.
So the other day, then I took all of my kids to the Halloween store and I couldn't find any of those ones, and so I'm gonna have to try again. I'm gonna have to take them to a different
Lowe's.
I couldn't find the scary ones, the ones that jump out at you.
Yeah.
They were just like, whoa, gory, scary things, and the kids were like, wow, cool, and I'm like, that's not the reaction I wanted to see.
Needed. That didn't fulfill me today.
So while I was there, I did grab a mask and put it on just because I wanted to see, and then went up to my kids and, scared him. Hudson just looked at me and he was like,
poking.
Yeah. He grabbed the mask and I was like, okay. Roman, same thing. He just laughed. He thought it was funny. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. And then the older kids, and that was that. And I was like, okay, well, what do I do now?
Yeah, I'm in Target, like walking up and down.
Now?
It was Target for sure. You wouldn't find me there very often.
not at Target.
And I'm walking up and down the aisles, and there's these moms like trying to shop, and their kids literally won't even go down the aisles. And they're like screaming and bawling. I'm like, you guys are wimps. Like, knock it off. Throw your kid in the cart
and then take them
and
down
put the Halloween costumes in the cart with them. You want to act like that. Yeah.
That's so funny.
I get irritated at that kind of stuff. Like, stop it.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, there's a line, right?
Yeah.
So I found this video, and if you haven't heard of it yet, then when I first saw it, I am all on board with scaring your kids. I do it all the time. I think it's funny, and I have these times. Some of my kids will think it's hilarious, and they'll just laugh right after. Other ones, they get really, really upset, and they're just like, but they can't get mad at mom.
Yeah.
See, so they're just like,
not fun.
It's fun. But then I see this video, and this is at a daycare, and the daycare providers are scaring the kids there, these toddlers, with masks during the Halloween season. So let's watch this.
This morning, the daycare workers seen in this viral video scaring the very children they're hired to take care of, now facing multiple charges for their actions. Daycare workers use a scary Halloween mask and appear to intentionally scare the young children, even chasing and grabbing a toddler at one point in the 2-minute video.
Here's my opinions on this. Because yes, this is coming from a mom who does enjoy scaring my kids. And have I done that to my kids specifically? Probably. They are mine.
Yeah.
They are my kids.
Yeah.
I can do what I want with my kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I feel like as a mom, you can sense where your child's at emotionally.
And where's the line?
Yeah. And when they're like, my kids are like screaming and having a good time with it. But when they're actually getting emotionally
and
traumatized and in like a daycare environment, that's like a professional environment.
Right.
I don't agree with that.
But see, even if my own kids were responding like that, I wouldn't keep going.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's not funny anymore. If they're terrorized and traumatized, I wouldn't find enjoyment in it anymore.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's not enjoyable. The part that I find enjoyable when I scare my kids is them laughing and them thinking it's funny too. Because honestly, if they get upset, then I'm a little bit like, I feel bad. I'm sorry. Like, a
little bit.
I feel a little bit bad because I know how irritating it is to be scared. It bothers me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it is funny.
Yeah.
But it's not funny, and especially like with the age of the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Right? Because this is like my Hudson and Roman age. With them, it's more just like a boo, get them to jump a little bit, and then they think it's funny, and
then
I'm
you
like,
give them a little hug,
and that's
it's okay.
fun, and there you go, and then I got my fix, and they think it's funny. I mean, every single time that I scare Roman, he thinks it's hilarious, and he laughs every time, and he's like, "Oh, you scared me," He thinks it's funny, but because here's the thing, if those were my kids at a daycare, like, I would sue.
Yeah,
I would be so mad.
Yeah. Because
I would be like, you have no right. They are not your kids.
Yeah.
You can't just go and like I said, even with my own kids, there's a line, but then I'm still the mom. I can be like, okay, wait, hold up. I'll come here. I'll comfort you. I'm not going to do this thing to you. I'm not going to freak you out and terrorize you and traumatize you.
Yeah.
But then for these daycare providers to just do this, and for how long they were doing it, and just kept it going.
It's like a horror story for the kids all day long.
Why would you do that?
You don't know those kids that well.
You don't.
Yeah, my kids, literally my kids would handle it pretty dang good. Like, I've taken them to haunted houses. We do all the fun Halloween-y things with the kids. But how do you know that these kids have ever been in that kind of environment, or if they've ever been scared or what? You got to build them up to it.
Yeah.
You don't just sit there and It's like, that's terrorizing, I think. That's a different level.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So tell me what you guys think. If you were the mom and you sent your kids to daycare and this is what happened while they were at daycare, what would you do? Would you sue? Would you think it was funny?
Yeah.
Would you quit? What would you do? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, this is, I don't know. To me, I'm just like, that is next level wrong.
Yeah.
And okay, so I do remember I did take my kids through a little haunted thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad. But in my mind, then I'm like, in those moments when it is terrorizing and traumatizing type of stuff, where people are coming at you in costume and scaring you like that, Mom's there, though, holding your hand, and it's an experience, and you knew that's what you were walking into.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think if the kid chose to, like, it's not like we're dragging my 5-year-old through a haunted house. No, like, he's like begging to go. I'm like, you asked for this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lesson learned thing, and he handled it well. And if he wasn't handling it well, we would take him out. Like, it's having a parent there to judge the situation is way different.
Yeah, exactly. And when I took my kids, I had one of them that was like, I don't want to do it. Yeah. But being that I was the only parent there with all of my kids, I could not just leave him behind. So I told him that he could hold on to my hand, and then I would cover his eyes and ears as he went through it. Yeah. And so he was like, okay, yeah, I'll do it then. And so we walked through it. I covered his eyes. I covered his ears. He was fine. He got out of it. And then after he got out of it, he was like, wait, I kind of want to see it. Yeah. I kind of want to go through it again. I want to know what happened. The kids loved it, and so we went back around and we went back through it, and he did it.
That was great.
You know, and so then it was, you know, like you don't traumatize your kids
to that level.
No, traumatize, because they are enjoying it when they're going with you. That's not a traumatizing thing, right?
Yeah, it was actually disappointing because my kids are like, I was like, I wanted to see a little bit of fear in there.
And they just laughed.
They thought it was
They just thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, if I had kids that were just completely, not doing it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make them, because like, even for me, I am that way. I hate haunted houses. I hate them.
Yeah.
It's not even fun. And even in the littlest bit, I don't think it's fun. It's not.
I love it.
I enjoy scaring people. I don't enjoy being scared.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
So I think that those daycare providers got what they got what was coming to them.
It's just inappropriate. That's just what it is.
Yeah. And that was a job that they were hired to do, to take care of those kids, not to freak them out.
Just feel like a hypocrite.
Terrorize them and cause them emotional damage and stress.
Yeah.
So Hocus Pocus 2. Have you ever seen the first one?
Yeah, obsessed. Loved it.
Really? Okay.
Have you not?
No, I have, and it's my favorite. It's my favorite Halloween show. You're like, okay, now we're getting it. Like, now we're getting
we are done at this point. I can't do
it. So here's the thing. Before then, it seemed like everybody was obsessed with Hocus Pocus. Right?
Yeah.
Back in the day when it first came out, nobody even knew. Nobody even cared.
We did.
It wasn't a thing. Back then, right? When it first came out.
Okay.
And then when TV started airing it and it started being like a regular thing, then everybody started jumping on this Hocus Pocus wagon.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, it's such a great show. It's so good and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I love this show. I grew up watching it. It became an every year thing. So when Hocus Pocus 2 came out, honestly, I was a little hesitant, because anytime that they second something, then, you just wonder. But they had the original Sanderson sisters. So then I was like, okay, it's got to be good. Right? It's got to be good. Yeah. And then I watched it. What'd you think?
I was disappointed.
I was
it was like, I sat there and watched I watched the whole thing, but I was literally like, I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah.
It was cute.
I was about there too. But see, here's the thing. And I read something on this too, where they basically said it felt like you were watching two different movies. Yeah. Where everything with the Sanderson sisters was its own movie. Yeah. And then everything without them in it was its own movie. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And it did feel like that. Yeah. I felt like, so there were a couple of lines that I thought, haha, that's funny. And it was cool to see the adjustment into nowadays world, right? And the correlations between the first one and then the second one. Right. One of the things that I thought was funny is in the first one, then they go out and ride their kitchen appliances, right? And then they have their house broom, mop, and then vacuum. Yeah. And then so they did the same play on it with the broom, and then the mop was the Swiffer.
Yeah.
And then the vacuum was the little thing. So I thought that those kind of things were kind of funny because it was like, modern world type of stuff. But as a general like takeaway from it, it was not the first.
For sure not.
And I think everybody kind of thought that.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. Yeah. Plus, I felt like it was like very political. You know what I mean?
I didn't. What?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't pay attention enough.
I don't know. I just think that there's so many things that they just put in just to make it please everybody type of thing. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And so then there's lines that I just thought, with the whole idea that like white man bad type of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just, I don't know. As a general rule, then there's always just that stuff that people just put in the movies nowadays just to make people happy. Yeah. So I thought that there was a lot of that stuff, which just kind of turned me off towards it. It was like, oh, okay. All right. I see how it is. Yep. So I agree. It was a little bit like that, but I do love the first one.
I love it.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Do you dress up, taking your kids out trick-or-treating? Have you ever?
One year we did dress up. I do remember one year me and my husband did dress up, and we dressed up as black and white TV characters.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, it didn't work out as well as we had hoped. Yeah. We didn't look as cool as we wanted to. But basically, like, we wore black and gray and white clothes. Yeah. And then painted our face gray so it looked like we were from a black and white movie.
That's cool.
And so, I mean, it was a cool idea. Yeah. Didn't quite get executed the way that I wanted it to. Yeah. But, I mean, we had fun. I think that's probably the only thing that we've ever dressed up as.
I miss dressing up. Yeah.
There have been times where I've like drawn like a spider or something on my face, or worn false eyelashes just to be a little bit more like, oh, this is fun. But as a general rule, I don't. And maybe it's because it was like after dressing up that way, I was like, never again. It was so hard. I had face makeup and everything all over me, and so trying to be with my kids and carry them and get them from one place to another and everything without getting it everywhere was so difficult. It was so hard. It just was everywhere.
I feel old.
I know.
I feel like I'm too old, but I still want to.
Honestly, I think the only way that I would dress up again is if it was like
for a party or something.
Yeah, for an adult party. Yeah. And I didn't have my kids. Not that I don't want to be with my kids when I'm dressed up. It's just really, really hard to stay in costume. Halloween. Are you excited?
I am excited. I feel a little tired already, but I'm ready.
I'm ready for the marathon of costume dressing up and undressing up that comes, right? Yeah. It's all weekend long. We got parties Saturday. We got parties Friday. We got parties Monday. Yeah. And it just, here we go. It's going to be great. Happy Halloween.